and I used all my fucking tissues. I'm about 25% the way through Clockwork Angel. Who let Will out of his cage? He is out of control. 2, love Jem, which makes me think he's going to be the sacrificial death, not from his tuberculosis. 3, Jessamine seems misunderstood. I can't tell. I'm not sure about her yet. Henry, his character introduction was hilarious. That's how you do it. 4, my biggest complaint, the chapters are so fucking long. I'm not used to this, and I do not like that. Used to, like, okay, I have 8 minutes left in the chapter. This is like you have 35 minutes left. Excuse me? 35 minutes left? I read a page a minute. 35 pages. Does something to me psychologically. When I get halfway, I think I'll make predictions. I'm 56% of the way through, and I don't trust Nate. He told that information way too easily, and him concerned as to why Will and Jem weren't going anywhere. Why? Why do you care so much? I literally stopped reading this book for like a week or two because I was so mad that Tessa was about to do the deed with Jem the first time they kiss. I feel like almost that she's kind of using him, because she would not go for him if she had Will. Let's be real. Yeah, hi guys. We're on the balcony. Let's pick up this makeout sash. Not on this balcony, because her brother's gonna figure out in like 2 seconds. Y'all are like taking bobby pins out of hair, running hands through hair, taking our gloves off, taking our masks off. What are you doing? Get out of there. Sent a fake message to get Nate away. There are those weird robot things in the ballroom, and we're out here taking our masks off, making out, taking our gloves off. What's happening? Are we about to do it on the balcony? Because let's not. I did not expect this book to be this sad either, by the way. It's making me good old chest ache and my heart have a hard time keeping me alive. Is there something in that lemonade? If I know anything about lemonade from Fourth Wing, don't drink it. Listen, I'm well aware that Jem is going through it. Trust that I know that. Jem was my favorite character until it kind of felt like he manipulated her into like continuing that kiss. Like, even if that wasn't Claire's intention, it's like, this is gonna sound very, just let me say it. And I don't mean it in the way that you think that I mean it. Okay, whatever. As a girl who has had many people fall in love with me, when I just thought it was friendship, it bothers me because, like, I too have been manipulated. I always feel bad because, like, I didn't expect it. Because, like, I'm not seeking, like, romantic feelings. Like, we're establishing a friendship. Why are you kissing me? Do I feel bad that Jem loves her? Yes. This is stressing me out, honestly. Why can't we all just be together? This seems like a good poly situation. I think they would both be okay with it. So I was wondering if maybe Jessie would have some sort of explanation that maybe she wasn't like a selfish bitch, but unfortunately I come to find that she is a selfish bitch, a murdering selfish bitch, because she was like, let all the Shadowhunters die. Like, ma'am, you're a Shadowhunter. What do you think is gonna happen to you? You're not exempt. And I was wondering, how old is she? And why is she playing with dolls that's like her family? It's a little weird. It's kind of funny that Tessa was like, a bruh, yeah, your man's, he doesn't like you. You don't know what love is. And then Jesse's like, you can't pick between Jem and Will. It just like, got me there. I'm 66% of the way in, and she went to go meet her brother at the warehouse, which, like, obviously he's gonna know. Like, there's just too many things where it's like, are you dumb? Like, how is it that the entire institute is behind? Whatever. Nate goes, delighted to see me brought low. Are you? What kind of sister does that make you, Tessie? Remember in the last book where he said, I never called you Tessie? Is there something, like, weird going on? I have COVID, but I was reading and was Gideon just about to ask for Sophie's hand. Also, can we stop this wedding between Tessa and Jem? It's stressing me out. Okay, so this is probably very, very obvious to other people, but I just realized that the purpose of, like, having them be bi or whatever, the connection thing that Will and Jem have, I feel like that's the reason why they both love Tessa, and the reason why she loves both of them. To me, it almost seems like perhaps it was inevitable for that to occur. Like, no matter who they loved, the other one would love that person. Does that make sense? Oh my god, it's happening! Gideon and Sophie. I am eating up this back and forth between Gideon and Sophie in the room and Gabriel and Cecily outside of the room eavesdropping. I am on when Will and Tessa are in Mortmain's care and they're like kissing and stuff. And he said, you want this? And she said, yes, do you? He said, for this I would have been damned forever. For this I would have given up everything. And I just like cried. This book is so sad. So Jem is alive and he's a silent brother, and it's making me sad that he is not like the Jem that we know. It's making me so sad that, first of all, that Tessa is not calling out for Will when she's like in pain and whatever. And second, that Jem left and that when he got there, he like says Jem, and he like sighs and says, yes, Tessa, will you look at me? And it's like, stop fucking sighing. Like, that's your fucking name. What kind of life is this? I don't know why this just hit me. Jem said, the silent brothers cannot marry, they cannot have parabatai, they can only live in the silent city. They do not laugh, they cannot play music. So sad. Goddamn book. My god, this shit is so fucking sad. Can't stop crying. Let me just read this to you. This is Jem talking. There's nothing you could have done that would have caused me to cease loving either of you. Will is myself, my own soul, and if I am not to have the keeping of your heart, then there's no other. I would rather have that honor. And when I'm gone, you must help Will. It will be hard for him. It's so sad. I literally don't know if I can read anymore tonight. Going from Tessa's grief, losing Jem, and now we're like in the scene where Will is talking about losing Jem, and I can't take it. And I used all my fucking tissues. I finished Clockwork Princess. I don't know if I could ever reread that series. That was rough. Pain-wise. I'm happy that Tessa got to be with both of them in the end. But just the thought of like Jem and Will, I'm trying not to cry because I just put makeup on. Jem and Will losing each other and never really getting that back. It's so sad. Fuck. I can't even talk about it right now. And that violin song that Jem played when Will was dying. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. Okay. I need to see my... 1 second. My dog is a big baby. We got a new fridge and we've never had an ice machine thing before. And when it's making ice, she freaks the fuck out. But when you're getting the ice, she's fine. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I quite literally never know what I'm doing. But we're gonna wing it because like if I write out a structure of how I want this to go, it's gonna take me a week, and it's hard for me to talk about books like after I'm done with them. It's so weird because during it I have so much to say, and honestly I forgot to make the videos. Like that's why there's not that many. I forgot that I was making like reaction videos. I have the Colorsoft Kindle, and first of all, I wanted it not because of like the colors of the covers or whatever, which is cool, but I got it because I want to highlight in different colors. I actually had more colors. Still, they have 4 colors that you can pick from: yellow, orange, blue, pink, whatever. I'm not selling you this Kindle. Back off. I wanted to see like the colors of the... Yeah, so I'm reading City of Bones right now. I'm not reading Jules Verne. It's for my dad. That's a situation. We won't talk about it. Stop trying to talk about it. So I do this thing. I make highlights, right? And, you know, I'll see people on Goodreads and they make 4 highlights. So Schmo has 4 highlights and 1 comment. Sarah Barra has 1 highlight, and it was probably on accident. Me, I have a problem, but you know what? I like doing it because first of all, it gets me more into the books. 2, there will be a second one. Give me 1 second. I gotta think of something. 2, I like to look back and see what I said if I reread or just like in general. When I like do things like this, I remember parts of the book better. But so I highlight a lot. So I wanted the colors. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. So one of my criteria to reading, since you guys don't know anything about me and you might care, one of my criteria, but like I think a book that emotionally touches me, where I'm crying, even like just like a little tear. But more, I want sobbing, which is what you guys saw of me reading Clockwork Princess. I want that. That wasn't something that I was like, why I wish I wasn't crying. No, I let that shit loose because I don't cry for myself in my day-to-day life because I dissociate. I will cry for book characters, and I will cry for other fictional characters, and I will cry for other people. So that's a lot of crying. I don't really cry for myself. I will at some point. It comes out at some point, but for the most part, I don't really cry for myself. So that was fun for me, but like not fun. I'm scared if I ever were to reread the series. I'm sorry I keep hitting the microphone. If I ever need to reread the series, I hope this sounds good. I should probably stop it and check. If I ever need to reread it, the 3rd book, I don't know if I can endure that again. And there's one other book that's, do you want to come to my booktube channel? Another book that's like that is Kingdom of Ash. The second time that I read it, it took me a long time to get to it and get through it, which the first time I read it, it was also very hard for me to, not because it was bad, because I couldn't read it in public. That's how much it made me cry. So the same thing was happening here with Clockwork Princess. I couldn't read it, like, you know, in the living room with the family around. I want to experience the flood of emotions that I'm going to have, and I knew it was going to be devastating. Did I think it would be to the extent that it was? No. No one ever thinks that. Kingdom of Ash, the second time that I read it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to cry again, because I, like, know, and, you know, I don't think I'm going to cry. I sobbed about the same amount as I did the first time. So, I cried literally the same amount for Clockwork Princess, though Kingdom of Ash was longer and more throughout the book, nearly the entire. I'd be like crying, and then I'd laugh a little bit, but not really, and then I start crying again, and it was just like, oh my god, Kingdom of Ash does it to you. Clockwork Princess, I cried from, it was kind of like the last few chapters to the epilogue. I don't want to talk about that epilogue ever again. Just kidding. It's probably going to be the main thing I talk about during this video. So obviously I'm talking about the Infernal Devices series. I'm going to talk about them all at the same time. So one of my favorite things of this series is, oh my god, I keep hitting the mic. I'm so sorry. One of the main things I like about this series is I've never in my life, okay, I've read Reverse Harems, and I read Love Triangle. Definitely read love triangles that I don't particularly care for. I'm not like a avid hater of them, but I would prefer not to have them, because one of them's always going to be a stronger relationship and the other one's kind of like, okay, whatever, which kind of happened during Infernal Devices. So this was not your average love triangle, and I'd hardly even call it that, if I'm being honest with you. It is, but it isn't, and it's because of Will and Jem's relationship that they have with each other. So I said this in one of my reaction ones, is I think that was the point, is the parabatai. I don't know how to say it. I thought I knew how to say it, and then I was listening to City of Bones audiobook, and I don't say it like that, lady. Parabatai. Whatever. It's parabatai to me. So I think that was the purpose of it, because their connection was so strong. I think no matter who fell in love with Tessa first, the other one was going to love her. Now, I think we could have had a polyamorous relationship here, but that wouldn't make sense really within the context of the 1800s. You know what I mean? That book, Clockwork Princess, no, the whole series actually was so incredibly beautiful in the most heart-aching way. It's hard to find writing like that. This was my first Shadowhunter series ever, like the first one I've ever read. I'm reading Mortal Instruments now. I'm not expecting it to be Infernal Devices level, because Mortal Instruments came out first. I'm assuming, well, I'm almost finished with the first book. I'm having a good time. I know a lot of people don't like the series. I'm having a great, fantastic, lovely time. Having fun. And that is what I needed after the Infernal Devices. Because, Lord help me, I needed bickering. Not selling my soul on the black market. And never feeling, I'm just making something off the top of my head, never feeling okay again. That's Infernal Devices. This is more of like, we're having like more YA arguments. And I hope eventually it does get to like a more emotionally in-depth point. But even if it doesn't, I'm having a good time. the last series was so heavy to me, like emotionally, that I needed this, honestly, and I feel like that's how you should read them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's how it should go. I don't think you should read Mortal Instruments first, because if you do and you don't like it, you're never gonna read Infernal Devices. Probably, maybe, most likely. And I think that would be a damned sin. So, one of my favorite things about this series is the romantic relationship that is deeper than romance. It's on another level. It's like, I'm gonna keep relating things to Throne of Glass. I don't want to spoil anything for you. One of the characters in Throne of Glass, the romantic relationship, like before it even started or was even ever thought of, that like these two were not good together. Like they were not good friends. They hated each other. They really, really did not like each other. And one of my favorite things about like the progression of their relationship was the non-sexual intimacy that they had. Like they would sleep in the same bed but not do anything. Like it was just, they felt comfortable. I don't want to give anything away, but that's like my favorite thing is, it's not the kissing, it's the hugging that I love. I love the kissing too, okay? Sue me. But I think hugs are underrated, and that non-sexual intimacy is underrated. And I feel like a lot of books now, fantasy books, the ones that are coming from, I'm not going to say that all, it better not be a bug on my wall. I'm not going to say all self-publishing is like this, because it's not. I've read some amazingly done self-published books, but I do feel like the market is getting flooded with self-published books that are not good. And they're not good because there's such a lacking of like a good character development and connection to the character, and that's like the main thing that I need, and that's what I got with this series. And reading these, like when I read like ACOTAR, like I know a lot of people don't like SJM, but I do, so literally fuck off. That's my preference, okay? Anyone that says that she only writes white characters, you're wrong. You're just looking at and listening to people who whitewashed a bunch of characters, okay? There are characters of color in all the series. A lot of people say that Bryce is white from Crescent City, and she's not. She's definitely mixed. Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, reading these like older books, it's just, you get like, it's so much better when they're traditionally published. They're really good, and you can see the difference, because you know, I've read, like, I'm not trying to shit on anyone, okay? Powerless was okay. Actually, Powerful was better than Powerless, but I digress. I'm kind of pressed about the whole situation with like killing off characters of color because like they're disposable or something. Like actually that's what happened in one of SJM's books, and she took that into consideration and did not do that again, as far as I can remember. So Powerless was okay. It was just okay. It was very, very overhyped. Generally, I hate when people say that, because it's like, you think it's overhyped, but this person likes it. You know what I mean? I think this was blown very much so out of proportion. There's a lot of like book talkers that, oh, review your book or whatever, review your book for a payment, but they don't really actually read it. And then it's like, that person has a lot of followers, so they get a lot of like attention for that book, which is fine. I don't want to hate on anyone, because I'm writing a book. It's probably never going to see the light of day, but I'm still writing it. I'm enjoying writing it. That's why I'm doing it. I'm enjoying writing it. Okay, where am I even going with this? So it's just, you could see the difference. You really can. I'm hoping I can cut down this, because I've been talking for about 20 minutes and edit this video. I fear I may never edit it, and it won't ever be on YouTube. So if it made on YouTube, we did it, guys. So yeah, you can see the difference between like books from like 2011 or something, maybe 2013. Like it's much better, though I won't say all the time. It's not always better. A Serpent in the Wings of Night from Carissa Broadbent. I think it's her first series, which is my favorite of her works. Oh my god, I'm gonna talk about that series. Like, I'm thinking about rereading it, but that's also very heavy. But I constantly, for like a year after I read it, was thinking about the characters every single day. So that series is called A War of Lost Hearts, but people call it Daughter of No Worlds series. I think that had to be self-published, right? Probably. That's incredible. Carissa Broadbent is one of those writers that I would relate to Cassandra Clare as being the type of writers that I'm looking for when I'm reading. It's poetic, but not pretentious, not purple prose. It's like the perfect balance. And I'm a poet too, and I know a lot of people say that. I consider myself to be pretty good at it. Oh, I only took 2 poetry classes. I have an English degree. I don't know if I told you that. I wanted to take more writing classes, but we can get into how I feel about certain societal things at some point, but not in this video. So we're going to step back and continue to push forward. No more detours. I don't know how I got here. So, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, so that's the kind of writing I look for too, is like the perfect amount of poetic writing, because I like to find quotes when I'm reading that it hits me and I don't necessarily know why. And I have this thing called a commonplace journal. I wish I had it out so I could show you. But basically what it is a bunch of like random quotes from like literally anywhere, anyone. Don't have to be famous. Just something that like hit me on a different level. I think this series is probably in my top 5. It was that beautiful to me. The fact that it made me feel as much as I did in one of my actual number 1 favorite book series, Throne of Glass. Like, it made me feel as much as I did on that level in 3 books. And that's bonkers, because I usually have a problem with trilogies, because a lot of times the 3rd book isn't that great for some reason. I feel like it's in top 5 for sure. My favorite is just the fact that the 3 of them, there's something so beautiful and painful, very, very painful about that relationship between those 3. It wouldn't have been as painful without the threat of Jem's death, looming death. That was an important thing, and it was very original and creative, I think. I've never come across that before in my life. When Jem died, it didn't impact me as much as I thought it would, because of the fact that Will wasn't there with him, though it still made me obviously really sad, and I did shed a couple tears, and definitely shed a bunch of tears when he finally found Tessa and told her about it. Will is my favorite character, and it's not because it is because of that. I don't even need to say it, but it's not because of that. Character is so tragic to me, and he's not even the one you would think would be the tragic character. His character is tragic, but he has an acceptance of what is going to happen to him. This is a perfect example of not killing or not doing stuff to your characters just to like try your hardest to get a reaction out of your audience. This is like One of those stories like Kingdom of Ash where I knew that it had to happen that way and that it couldn't be like just resolved. He had to die and be taken away from Will. I think it was even way sadder, and it's one of the reasons why I cried so hard, was because the fact that Jem was not dead, but he was never the same really again with Will. Like, Will died not having Jem. Like, yes, he came to visit him. Oh my god, that scene. That was fucking ridiculous. That was brutal. Oh my god, I can't even think about it right now. Now I'm not, like, I just, like, totally can't stop thinking about it. The moment that Will had lost Jem was when he left to go get Tessa, and that was the last time in his entire life that he had with his someone that was, like, deeper than a brother or a best friend, or, like, their love for each other was so deep. And that was the last time it was ever the same. Like, Will went on the rest of his life without Jem, pretty much. He did come and visit, but, like, he wasn't the same at all. There's glimpses here and there, but he wasn't the same. And that's fucking sad. That's depressing as hell. Like, yes, I'm happy that in the end Tessa got to be with both of them. I wish Will was immortal. That shit bothered me. Brah. Oh, great series. It was heavily focused on the relationships, I feel. Not necessarily, like, yes, they had, like, a villain to go against. They had goals and purposes and whatever. But the thing that you really remember about the series is that relationship. Not necessarily the plot. Though I liked the plot, it was fine. It wasn't the most spectacular thing. But I don't even care, because the characters were so good. The plot was good. Don't get me wrong. Don't put words in my mouth. Okay, that is all I have for you. This video sucked. Hit that like button. If you hated this video, hit that like button. No, don't do that. Don't do it like that. Like it because you like it, or don't like it. But I would like if you liked it. I like you. I will do better next time, I promise. I'm reading Mortal Instruments now. This is just a good, happy, fun time, sort of. I know already about the relationship, the whole thing with Jason Clary. I don't know it's, like, in specifics, but I don't really want that to be a thing. I know it is a thing, so that sucks. And what else am I reading? Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. It's okay so far. Rereading Throne of Glass again, because my mom is finally reading it. And she is starting Heir of Fire soon, and I am going to read... I read Crown of Midnight, but I'm going to read from Heir of Fire onwards with her, because she's not a fantasy girly, and I think she's going to need my assistance. And I take Throne of Glass very seriously. I have a lot of books I gotta read. I also have a lot of work to do. Have a nice day. Yeah.